read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right.
Come on, everybody, SMS Show, that's right. And today is the third Monday in January. You know what that means? It's MLK Day.
Martin Luther King Day, y'all. Tribute, much love, Dr. Reverend, the Honorable Martin Luther King.
I got special guest, my homie, Ron. Thanks for coming on the show, man.
Absolutely. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ron. That's spelled R-O-A-N as in Nancy E. Last name is Avery. So you can look me up under Ron Avery, Google me, or just get to know me now.
That's what's up. So MLK, then, it's 2018. Kind of want to ask you, where are we at in 2018, man? What does MLK Day mean to you in 2018?
Well, that's a loaded question because 2018 represents a lot of things in our country, in the U.S., and in America, and in our society. But I think, to be honest with you, if you do look me up and if you look into me, what I am, I'm a musician. I'm a music producer and a singer and a songwriter, keyboardist. So what I'll speak on today, I'll speak on how that relates to music. You understand? So that's what I'll give you. And basically,
so how do you feel like MLK relates to music? I mean,
absolutely, he does, because there's a parallel, and there's something in common with that. MLK is a cultural leader. He's a black African American, but really overall human leader. And that's what music does too. Music is like a channel, it's like a window in to the culture of society. If you look at black music or ethnic music, that's a window or an indication of ethnic culture and the sentiment of how our culture is doing at the time. And that's what I was really going to speak to you about now. Because I think if Martin Luther King, Dr. Reverend, could hear some of the music and some of the culture that we have now, look, I'm not going to say he'll turn over in his grave, maybe not, but I don't think he would be very impressed. I think he could see some notable areas of improvement.
Well, you're touching on something there, because I think that, the time was a lot different, like in the 60s.
Of course it was.
And the way people dressed, their whole ideals.
Everything was different.
Family, on the home.
Absolutely.
Can you touch base on that
Absolutely.
a little bit? I mean, what are we seeing in music today that you think Martin Luther King would kind of like maybe like frown upon or be like, not really feeling that?
And let me put it in context, because the last thing I want to do is take anything away from any of the great art. There is a lot of great artists today, and they're having success. I would never hate on success. I'm not a hater. I respect all the musicians and artists today. But there's a simple and plain fact. As I said, music is a window in culture. Music has a message to it. Back in the day, music had a little bit more of a message with artists like Marvin Gaye. What's going on? Artists like the Spinners, artists like the Stylistics, artists like Bobby Womack, artists like Teddy P. People, the real Teddy P. Teddy Prendergast, people like that. Yeah. Now.
Okay.
Music,
what about today? I mean,
music nowadays, and I'm not gonna give no specific examples. I won't give specific examples. But back then, they used to speak about issues about love, the family, struggle, things like that, cultural society. Nowadays, there is some of that left, but a lot of it, even starting in the 90s, is a lot about gangster, crime, glorifying sexism, glorifying disrespect against women, and glorifying things that won't benefit our culture. That's the difference. People like Martin Luther King, great leaders like King, they stood for positive greatness and only improving our culture, helping the youth, helping our culture. He had no interest. He would never try to profit from negative energy, profiting from glorifying crime, profit from glorifying basically negativity on our culture. That's the difference. And that's what music is only one example of that, but it represents that. Now, do you understand? What is your opinion on that, Strategic?
That's pretty deep. You know, I think it's kind of easy to kind of get wrapped up on what's happening today, because you know, for me, I mean, you know, you live like on a day-to-day basis, so you get so wrapped up on what's on the radio.
Tunnel vision.
You get, you know, what's being, you know, popularized on YouTube. So I mean, I feel like, you know, now that you mention these things, it's bringing to light, you know, what's going on in media.
Absolutely.
It's so easy for me to, like, you know, get attached to some of these like new hip artists like Migos, Tekashi 6ix9ine, Kodak Black, and it's all that young music.
Absolutely.
Like you said, they're talking a lot about
not taking anything,
cars and,
not taking anything away from them. Not taking anything away from them. We would never hate, because hating ain't what the bay is about. But go on.
But I mean, you know, that's what today's episode is about, and you know, that's what we wanted to give a shout out to Martin Luther King
and basically,
struggles,
last thing
for you know, all the hard work he put in to help change society.
And he gave his life.
He gave his life for that.
Not just hard work. He gave his life.
That's huge.
To help elevate our culture and society as a whole.
So tying back to the music, I think you got a little verse you want to spit, a little conscious verse you want to spit to us, right?
Now, even rap could be conscious too, like people like Tupac, people like that. This is an example of some conscious rap for you that maybe Dr. Martin Luther King, maybe he could be proud of. This is something about our country, the USA, about our government, and about how we do things. Said, now, Ron Ave, talk to him. Yo. The richest nation in the world, making tons of millions. We not seeing that it's wrong when we bomb civilians with constant killings over weapons of mass destruction. That's frontin', it's the natural gas we hunting, causing vast corruption and hatred and greed and jealousy, overtaking, causing nations to bleed and races to greed. Total population deceased, that's evil. What we need is salvation and peace. Look, I hope the truth don't get lost in time. I won't salute our leader. He's a boss of crime. He's murdering people, and they not deserving the evil. Goes to war unprovoked, and he's hurting the peaceful, but he's still continuing his reign of terror. Wasn't ever when we started this insane endeavor. Impact on the victims too great to measure, cause the memories fade but the pain's forever. We need peace. We need peace.
Hey.
Said we need peace.
Hey. That's pretty dope.
We need peace.
Yes. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in.
We need peace.
Just remember, keep it peace. And,
love y'all. Peace and love.
Happy MLK Day, and let's keep it positive out here,
From
man.
the city.
Let's keep it positive.
From the Bay, Jimmy G.
We'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Holla.
I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.